flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Welcome, everybody, to the November 11th meeting of Alleman City Council. And roll call.
Roosevelt?
Here.
What? Here. Smith?
Here.
Second.
I guess.
And Andreas is absent. You have the floor, sir.
Okay, we have a motion for the consent agenda items to be. Make a motion. Have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That's done. We have the, portion of the meeting now is for the citizens' opportunity for comment. The citizens' opportunity to address the council on items not on the agenda. This agenda item is set aside for comments from the public on topics of city business, other than those listed on the agenda. Please understand that the council will not take action on your comments at this meeting. In accordance with Iowa's open meetings law, the mayor and city council welcome the comments from the public pursuant to the adopted rules of procedure of the Alleman City Council. At no time is it appropriate to use profane, obscene, slanderous language. The mayor may limit each speaker to 5 minutes. So I'll open this portion of the meeting. If you'd like to address the city council. You're here, or are you here to hear?
No, I'm here for the storm.
Okay,
I
you're
was
here
here for the
for the stormwater.
stormwater drain, so,
Okay,
I'm assuming you'll
everything
answer
else is
the
good.
problems during the day.
We'll talk then.
Make a motion to close.
Floor says yes, so okay.
Yeah, we'll do that. Okay. You have, in front of you the, sheriff report. Is there any questions?
He's not here, he just left. Just so you know.
Oh, did you have a red light sign?
Yeah.
Yeah, he,
All emergency situations?
yes.
So, is there any questions on the calls for service?
Okay, answer them, just receive the file.
We'll receive and file the sheriff's information. We have in our continuing work with the city, our storm drainage program, we'll have a public hearing on proposed plans, specs, form of contract, and estimate of cost for the storm drainage improvement project. I'll let Forrest, everybody's got that copy there. We had a letting last Thursday, and I will let if you have any questions, I'll let Forrest answer the questions.
This would be the public hearing, so this would be the time to hear from the public.
Okay, go ahead, sir. Want to step up and state your name and address and for the record?
My name's John Hathaway. I live at 14135 Northeast 3rd Street in Alleman, Iowa.
What was the address again?
14135.
Okay.
Not
What street?
3rd Street.
3rd Street.
Yes, sir.
On your map, Forrest, this is him right
Right,
here.
it's like.
M.01 and
Just north of
M.02
the church.
on the map.
Oh, just north of the church. Okay.
Yep, yep. So he's got that culvert, that big culvert that goes across 3rd Street.
Oh,
The
okay.
30-inch one, he's on the north side, and his neighbors.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Now, I guess what I wanted to address, I know this is already pretty much in stone, but my concern is that, and I realize the way you've got it designed, it's going down a waterway, but you're taking all the water from this end of the city, running it into culverts, and running it over to the streets that, the waterway that would be behind Matt Larson's, and then it would be behind Parsons and Kathy Larson's, and then it would come on down, and then all that water runs across my backyard and then down the deal like that. And that's my concern, is that I would think that if you were trying to get rid of the water problem, you wouldn't make a problem by directing all the water onto a private property, which is mine, even though I know that's still a waterway, but that's still bringing all the city's water down between houses, which it can spread out and go to their properties, and then come on down and then come across my property, and then on down, and then on out. So that's my concern. And I realize that that's a waterway. I've lived here for 32 years, and that's the way the water's always flowed. But now you're taking you've got ditches that don't drain. That's why you're doing what you're doing, is putting pipes in and getting the water all to run. So now that you're taking all that water and putting it in the pipes and making it run, now you're putting all that water from all this area up here down into the center of town and running it down and then across somebody's yard and then down and on out again, which will go on across other properties. And as the water flows on the side of my house and goes under 3rd Street and on down, if you don't make those pipes and everything big enough to handle all that water to go all the way down, those people on the other side of 141st place, their basements get flooded all the time. That's always been a problem at it. Water comes down through there so much, and it can't get through the culverts at the Allens and the old parsonage. Then that water backs up and runs across and goes into those houses over there. So that's my concern, is that you're bringing all this water now down that waterway, but across my yard, private property, and then taking it and trying to get it all down instead of taking it and routing it someplace that it does not affect anybody's property.
What would you like to see?
I've been looking at the map and everything like that, and I don't,
It's just hard to figure
I don't know. One idea might be to, instead of taking it all this direction, take it all this direction and put it down the deal down that way. Otherwise, the only thing I would know to do is to come through that waterway and put a great big culvert, and take the great big culvert between my house and the church, and then take it right on down to the 4 Mile Creek like the high school did. They built that, and they took it all the way to the deal. That's another option, which is very expensive, I understand, because now you're trying to make a pipe big enough that's gonna hold all that water, but, I don't have a real good answer to it, because there isn't really one. I can see why they did what they did, but, it affects people's property.
I know that you were concerned about the retaining wall there, and we're gonna move the dirt, slant the dirt.
I've talked to Logan about that.
And I'm sure it's a little different this time. I think, from a layman's standpoint, where we've hired an engineering company, and they've been out with their surveying instruments, and they've got all of that data. And years past, we just kind of took a little problem here and a little problem there, and we tried to fix it here and there, and not knowing that, possibly we caused a problem instead of fixed the problem. And I kind of like doing it this way with Beanstream and Ken, because I hold them responsible for what they're doing, and I trust that they will do the right thing and make sure that it's done right, with their engineering expertise.
And I'm not saying anything bad about them either, I'm just saying that's my concern, that you're bringing all this water and bring it on down.
Another thought is, they're gonna change the elevation behind your yard, going off all these drains, they're gonna drop all this ground elevation down to meet the flow going underneath the, so that's gonna make a big difference, because over the years, the ground's built up, that's where you get your flooding, that's where it spreads out. So when they start taking the ditches out, that level will come down, the water line level, the flow line will come down quite a ways. They'll probably eliminate a lot of that water problem, they probably won't even go on the yard. See what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
well, it comes across, once the school took care of their problem and kept all their water on the other side of 134th Avenue, that eliminated a lot of the water that came across the church yard and my yard and then on down the way. But still, even with that taken care of, with the ditches flowing poorly like they do and everything now, still, if you get a substantial rain, you will still get down that waterway, you'll get enough rain down through there that I'll have a lake in the back of my yard still. So that's why I'm saying, I don't know that once you're containing all this water in pipes, where now some ditches don't drain at all, like where Floyd used to live, with that big trench that somebody dug, that water doesn't go anywhere. So, you know, so I'm not up here to.
Yeah, let Forrest answer questions, he's our engineer.
So a couple comments. One, if you get a 100-year storm event, these pipes are not designed to handle a 100-year storm event. I mean, you're gonna get the pond, water's gonna go over the road. I mean, we're not, we have to put in pipes as big around as this room to handle that. Second thing is, we're working with Polk County to do a second storm drainage system that'll intercept the water that comes down from 6th to 5th, intercept the water at 5th, and take that south. So that is also in the works to help this situation.
Okay, that makes sense.
So Logan's working with Polk County to get that plan in place.
You take 5th Street and 6th Street and take it that direction.
John, from my house, it will go south.
From your house, it will go south.
The
Okay.
corner of her, very corner of her property.
Because that's a little concern that I can see on here too. I know how much water comes off of the co-op's big building right behind your house with great big spouts like that. And that water's still all gonna come down and try to go into a drain and go around your house, but still whether it does or not.
Hopefully we are trying to fix problems.
And I'm not complaining, I'm just up here
I know, I know.
giving you a
Heads up.
heads up but like I said, I've lived here for 32 years and the water's run there. I know the water runs there.
It
And it's
does.
always gonna run there.
It is.
It just concerned me that we're causing the whole city now to go into that small venue.
So with an engineered system, it goes like this, it's engineered. With what we have now, it's this and this and this, then after the water gets built up so tall and fills up the deals, then it just a gully washer. And that's where you get the massive amount of water coming down to where the culverts that are under our streets right now won't handle it. Hopefully an engineered, you start getting the rain and it's traveling in that engineered system so that you don't have the highs and lows to a point where now you got massive amount of water coming down and through. It's always flowing, not building and then flowing.
So,
That was a great analogy.
Well,
That was awesome.
I put in pipes taller than me on the railroad, so, I have a little.
So anything else? That's what
It works.
Well, fifth and sixth, you're planning on taking that water that way eventually?
Yes.
Someday.
Yeah, hopefully,
Couple years.
Next year.
Yeah, couple,
hopefully a couple years.
yeah.
We've been looking at it.
That would be huge, because that field drains.
So when are they starting, when are they planning to start on this project then?
This,
Spring, next spring.
Next spring? Okay, and
we
you talked
let
about,
the bids.
okay,
This-
and you talked about there at my house, how they were gonna extend to, I've already talked to Logan and he's come over and explained what's going on and I've given the okay whenever they get the paperwork done signed so they can come onto my property and blah, 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 whatever like that. So that sounds like a pretty good deal on that, so. And I guess Wynn's also on board with it, my neighbor next door, so we should be pretty good. So anyway, I've expressed my concern to you. I appreciate you listening to me and, thank you very much.
Thank you for coming up. Mr. Wolf.
Name is Jim Wolf, I live at 14160 Northeast Third, so just, northwest of where John lives, across the intersection. As far as the project basis there, you're going to be replacing culverts across Third and 141st? Or what's your plans there on 141st Place and Third Street? Would be
He's talking right here, so there's the one that comes across, north and south, and then the one that was at, John's place that goes east and west.
Yeah, so there's, so you're in the southwest corner of the
I'm
intersection?
in the northwest corner.
Northwest
Yep.
corner?
Yep, so there's a little parking area there on the side yard, I have the corner lot.
Oh, okay. So, there's a 24-inch, you have a 24-inch
Yep.
pipe underneath your parking area.
Yep.
So we're gonna put, so the water on the east side of Third is all gonna drain down to that, where the retaining walls are.
Yep.
And we're gonna put a new tube under the road there. And that's gonna continue to keep on going on the south side, all the way down to, there's a brand new pipe on the south side. We're gonna hook into that, and then it's gonna daylight after that. So the only water that you're gonna see on your side is just what's in that little northwest corner of Third and 141st Place. And so we're putting in a new intake in southeast corner, right in where the intersection is. Put a new intake there and run a pipe and hook into that culvert going under your drive.
So you'll run a new culvert underneath 141st Place to the north, or that's gonna stay existing? I believe actually.
Actually, we thought about taking it out because it doesn't really serve any purpose going under 141st Place.
Like Perry indicated, I don't think the elevation is there anymore.
Yeah, it didn't seem to do any good over there, so we were taking that out, not replacing it.
Okay, so the other question I had is, we discussed fifth and sixth, taking the water off there. There's existing, tiles of drainage underground that goes underneath, across my property, through my property to the south, or to the west, that continuously has been clogged by the co-op and other issues, and it's aged. Is there any issue with leaving that there, or what is your plan for that?
Our
So
plan is to
that's-
leave that in place.
So that's actually gonna be the county thing, which is separate from this one, and that's, we're a couple years out on funding for that, it's a multi-million-dollar project. The intention is, to take somewhere in the nature of 30 to 40% of the water that's going through that and redirecting it, south this way, to where the water line usually runs. So you'll see less of an issue, and then obviously with the co-op leaving, we're not gonna see the corn and soybeans in the line like we have, Jim.
It's been a big concern. Every time there's a huge rain, there's two cleanouts there, and it blows the lids off those, so that's when we know that we're gonna have issues. John spent probably a lot of money in his house. I know that Glenn across the road from me has spent thousands of dollars, and I've spent thousands of dollars too in my basement to try to keep it dry because of that issue. When it was cleaned at one point, they found an issue to the west of that. They fixed it and the problem went away until it then again got plugged by soybeans, corn, dirt, debris, whatever, because you can throw anything down that culvert at this point. So that's my biggest concern is, you know, with the water coming off John's property and also that area, I'm glad to hear that we're finally looking at addressing that, because that caused a lot of issues with several houses in the area. But do you foresee that the project on 5th and 6th would even lessen that a little bit?
It will, yeah. Oh, on this project,
Yeah.
5th and 6th? No, really, that needs to be out of the project where they're taking that water on 5th and 6th and going south with it.
Okay.
We're not changing where that water goes with this project.
Okay. And then, so I see you've got denoted connect existing sump and stuff on my property there on
Yes.
3rd.
Yeah.
So will that be a culvert, or will that just?
That'll be a pipe.
So
It'll be
that'll
a
be
buried
a
pipe.
full ditch?
Yeah.
Okay,
We'll fill in the ditch shallower than it is, and that sump will go tap right into the
Okay.
pipe.
Well, those white dots are inlets, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
so the white circles are inlets, so there'll be,
Yeah, and the red line
so
is.
the water can drain in and drop down into the pipe.
Yeah, and the red line is a new pipe, so your sump will tee right into that new pipe.
okay, so there'll be some,
If that's,
Be an elevation
does he have to
change.
do that?
No, the contractor will do that.
But I mean, are we requiring the homeowners to tie into that?
Well, there won't be, right now, they just go into the ditch, and we're filling the ditch, so there's no ditch, so yeah, we need to look in.
Okay. Cause that question's been brought and I didn't have a good answer,
No, yes,
but we are requiring to look into it.
we aren't requiring it, but it'll,
so
most of the time it'll have to happen, just
So-
because we're filling in the ditches shallow.
We having a flapper deal? Are we putting that in, or are we just putting it at the top of the culvert and letting it drain in there?
Just putting in the top of the, I mean, they should have a check valve in their sump pump,
Well,
Yeah, there should be a check valve at the pump itself.
and the pump itself in the house, keep the water from going the other way.
well, we can discuss that when we get to that point.
Yeah.
Well, your elevation should be high enough anyway.
Something for you as a homeowner to consider when doing that. I know in our neighborhood, in the States, when they have their sumps drained into the ditch, and if the ditches are full of water, their sumps can't drain into the ditch, and it backs up into their house. There's been a couple of those instances. I know some people have put in some backups that if that's the case, then they'll just discharge it right out onto the road, right out on outside their house, but just as a heads up, I've heard of that also.
Well, mine's high enough, it's basically surface and then it trickles down the ditch, so I don't have that issue, but, you know, I'd be real interested in the next portion of this project, because I know that there's considerable issues that are caused by that old deteriorating infrastructure that's under there, and from what we've done research and looked at and discussed and talked about over beers, there's a lot of water that comes down from 6 that runs through our properties, and it would be great to get that fixed as well.
Also, Logan is trying to work with the county to get that funded, so that's going through the county.
And, yeah, I would do my damnedest to vote for it, or even pay for some of it. To the point where I need to get it done.
Yeah, well, talk to your county supervisor about making sure that gets done.
Thank you.
Could I address your engineer one more time?
You betcha.
I'll just come over here and show you what I'm talking about. This right here on 3rd Street, this is my house, this is the driveway, okay? This is the church right
Yep.
here. Okay, this inlet that you're gonna put here, that one concerns me a little bit in the aspect that if you know when you stand up and you look at the line, the asphalt from the church comes here, and the asphalt from the street comes here, and that is right even with the edge of the road. And so now you're gonna put a drain clear over here, so I'm wondering how you're gonna take water that comes down along here and divert it into
Yeah, so
this
we're gonna have
here.
to regrade that area to get that water to flow
So that
into
be,
that.
will that be something concrete kind of thing, or will it just be a
Just reshaping the dirt.
reshaping the dirt?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, because that's gonna be quite a bit of, redesigning to get that. If any of you understand what I'm saying, that church.
Yep. Well, they're gonna take the asphalt off 2 inches, come back in after this culvert project, and all the roads up in our area will be repaved within a short amount of time after,
Yeah, like a month.
a month after the, culverts are all put in, and they'll come in and grind 2 inches off and relay new asphalt, so.
Okay, so you know that that's offset from where the water's actually flowing.
That's good to know, but yeah, Logan doesn't like the water running along the edge of the road because then that deteriorates that asphalt.
Well, I can understand that, because like I talked to a couple of engineers that were out looking one day, and I've talked to Logan too. No water runs down that ditch in front of my house. It all, because of the way the
Great.
grade is, it just runs right along the road there. And then when you get to my culverts, you know, there's that asphalt that apparently Hadley must have put in there many, many years ago, because that's the way the water always ran down through there, just so it came down and had a way to go through. So I just wanted to see what your thought was on how they were gonna make that get over to a drain from here to here, you know, so.
One thing that, I guess we never really talked about was when you mill off the asphalt, you know, they usually, put a little shoulder on crushed asphalt, instead of hauling it away, you know, kind of gravel it, or using the asphalt. Are we gonna do that?
I guess I was thinking we were having earth shoulders.
Yeah, we're not doing a millings edge.
Well, I mean, you know how they do that, you don't just have asphalt and then grass. They usually put a little bit of rock there to keep the water from.
We can talk to inroads about that next year.
I didn't know if it's,
Clear off
Huh?
over here.
It is
it's
not,
not, I didn't know if it was a good idea or not.
it is not.
I don't know if it's a good idea.
Right now, we're just planning on putting dirt up the asphalt grass.
Dirt up to the grass, okay. I didn't
Sounds
know.
like a maintenance thing.
It's probably not.
On highways and stuff, I can see it, and roads like that, because people need to get over if they break down, but
I just
We're
didn't know
in
if we
town.
were gonna do that.
not a 55-mile-an-hour road.
Alright,
Thank you very much again for letting me speak. With the engineer.
thanks, guys.
Thank you for coming.
Let's move on to, what do we got?
Resolution.
The resolution.
Do we have to close the public hearing?
Yes.
Yeah, do I have a motion to close the public hearing?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, you got a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
I do have a question, being I'm in the public and I live over there too. I see in these driveways here, we don't have any identification of what size the culverts are.
Oh, downstream?
Yes, the 3 houses here and the houses down here, and we have no information on the outlet end of this whole situation. And, when I did this kind of work, that was a huge thing, that you had to have, you couldn't have over a certain percent of grade coming off of it, otherwise once it hit the dirt, it would erode and you'd create more problems. We have no information on that.
No, we did pick up the elevations of those culverts that are downstream.
And what
We
size
just-
they are.
And what size they are, we just didn't show them on the plans because the contractor doesn't care.
Yeah.
But
We
we did pick all that
Yeah, so are they 24s?
up. I don't know.
And then I'd like to have information on the outlet of these pipes, when they come out, do we have riprap down there? Is it a concrete, structure that is failing, or is it secure as we talk today, or was that addressed?
Okay, I'll find out. We're not, I'll find out.
Because we need to know that, because once we get this done, we don't wanna mess with this for 50 years. And the outlet is very important on a drainage system, so it doesn't fail on the outlet end of the whole project.
I will get that information, I'll get that to Sherry to pass
Yeah,
along.
yeah. Pictures are nice, so you can see if you're gonna have somebody go down there and check into it. So, I'm good.
Now we're, at the portion of the meeting, the resolution 2024-024, finally approving and confirming plans, specifications, form of a contract, and estimate cost for the storm drainage improvement project. And you have that in front of you, the 2024-024. Do I have a motion to put,
Make a motion to move forward.
do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, and discussion? Hearing no discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. It passes. There you go.
Ooh, Lauren, here comes some bigger print now.
Thank God.
I thought the, ones in the packet might be a little tough to read. So, this is your consideration of bids, your next agenda item.
Yeah, there's no way I'm. I don't, yeah.
That's awful.
If you want.
So do you have magnifiers on?
Clear at the bottom.
Yeah.
You can almost read it.
Okay, go ahead, Forrest.
So we received 9 bids. Fantastic. Which was fantastic. That's probably double more than we usually receive. Our estimate was $425,000, and there were 6 of the bidders below that and 3 above. And the low bid was from Jet Drain Services out of Ames at just under $300,000. We've worked with them in Lakeview before, Lakeview, Iowa, and they did a nice job there. I sent Logan a couple references, I don't know if he checked them or not. We want to check some others or not, but we recommend the bid be awarded to Jet Drain Services out of Ames for $299,726.
Okay. Do I have a motion to accept that bid?
I'll make a motion to accept that bid.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Alright.
Aye.
Aye.
That carries, very good. Now we're down to the last, the resolution of 2024-023, approving a contract and performance or payment bonds for the street improvement project. Do I have a motion to consider?
I'll make a motion to consider.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, and discussion?
This is for the contracts and bonds for inroads for the street paving project.
So not the storm drainage.
Not the storm drainage.
So the 2024-025 is for the recommended by B&K jet drain, right? Yep.
Yes, that's
Okay.
Jet Drain. 23 is for inroads
Okay.
for the street project.
Yep, I'm trying to keep it straight here.
Okay, all in favor? Aye.
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 That carries. Okay, we'll turn the page. And we'll have a public hearing on a proposal purpose loan agreement. And,
Were these actual papers in here for
Yep.
Sherry?
or is it,
No. That is the great big one. I have forced a bit out of place on everybody's part, so. It's right before this 26 resolution, or it's included in the 26 resolution, the dollar amounts for the loan.
yeah, on the back page of it, the 26, 27, 28, 29, 30.
The 026 resolution has the payment set up.
Payment
And the
starts
paper going
46,
with.
49, 52.
Go ahead with it.
So the public hearing talks is for the loan agreement with Grinnell State Bank. Embedded in resolution 026. On page 7 of that resolution has the payoff amounts for each year.
So the note is for $640,000, correct? Loan agreement?
Yes.
And the paying, the yearly payments on that $640,000 is, next year, 46, 49, 52, and 55. Okay? So, with that, we'll,
What were those numbers you just read, Bob?
okay,
What were those numbers you just read?
Monthly, or the yearly payment,
yearly payment principal amount.
it's on the back of 2024.
24026.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I was looking at 2026, it goes from 2026 to 2039. You can see it's 2 rows. There, it's 2 rows, so, and,
So this is the principal and the interest payment.
Yes, and it's the PFM, and it is Dorsey and Whitney, and it is Beester and Kim in this dollar amount.
So why doesn't it say it's, principal and interest on our sheets here?
Just says principal amount.
Yep. That's what, because if you read back in here, it's talking about the interest too.
payment of both principal and interest on notes shall be made to the register owners appearing on the second, on the back page.
That's what yeah. But on this yearly deal, you're just saying we're paying the principal, and that's what we're paying. Is it the principal, is it principal and interest, these numbers that we have in front of us?
Looks to me like the interest is above the principal amount, because it says it's payable on a semi-annual basis.
So it's 2 different payments.
That's the way I read it.
So then what's the interest payment on a yearly, twice a year?
Could be, yeah, 6.5% of the principal.
So we're paying more than $29,000 a year, we're paying $29,000 plus interest at 6.5%. I'm no banker, so that's where I get confused, is how is that done? Is it, on the original loan? Is it on,
So it's on your principal bank, so each year you're gonna pay less in interest, because the principal goes down.
yep, every year?
Yep.
Okay. But we need to know those numbers along with the numbers that we have here.
These numbers are what we plug into our budget, correct?
Yes.
But then we gotta have the interest payment on top of this. So in 2026, we're gonna have a $29,000 bill, plus we're gonna have 2 installments of interest for that year too.
But if you're, so it's TIF that's paying this, so it's not coming out of our general budget.
But it's a payment,
Right. It is.
yeah.
If you
So,
look at page 7, section 6, it says for the purpose of providing for the levy and collection of direct annual tax sufficient pay, it shows fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2025. So it's
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
section 6, yeah.
And then it goes through all the way through July 1st of 38.
And that's,
So the
we're,
principal is more than, or
That's the
the,
principal and interest, yep.
is the 600.
Yep.
So the
That's
interest is more than the principal.
That's what your
always
taxable,
is.
That's the way it works.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
The way the world works, yeah.
Okay,
The way the world works.
so,
Can we pay more at a time? I mean, if we get X number of dollars through our TIF, can we use it all and just pay it?
I don't know if there's a prepayment
Yeah.
penalty or not.
PFM and I meet, and Bob meet with the bank on Monday, the 25th, to sign the paperwork. And I'm gonna definitely answer that question, because that's how I do my own banking.
So we have the,
Good catch.
we have it, and that's what it's for, or why not get it done?
We did send this out to 4 banks, and this is the only one that responded, because we do business with them.
So it does say here, the city reserves the right to optionally prepay principal, in whole or part at any time prior to maturity of the notes. That's on page 7.
So we can.
Yeah.
We can do that.
so 40,000 is coming out of
It's all paid.
TIF, and then we gotta pay this, the principal or
Oh,
all.
that is funny.
This is all coming out of TIF.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, there we go. Yep,
And, you know,
The other thing said,
they told us, you know, in the meeting that we would recognize $100,000 a year in TIF.
Yep.
So-
okay,
So we're
yep,
we're under that, and we got good bids.
yep, I understand it now.
Turned out real well. Okay, let's close the, if there's nothing else on the public hearing, let's close the public hearing.
Make a motion, public hearing.
A second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. And now, we come down to the resolution 2024-2026, authorizing and approving a loan agreement providing for private placement issuance of general obligation corporate purpose note series 2024 and providing for levy of taxes to pay the same. Do I have a motion?
Make a motion.
Do I have a second?
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
No, sorry, discussion.
I just wanna make sure that 640,000 that's listed there, that's the street project, that's the culvert project, and that's your fee, that's what that 640, it's not.
Correct.
Okay.
And we have a contingency built in there.
Yeah.
Wow, thank goodness.
Engineering, PFM, the finance, and the attorney. So those 3,
All there. Okay,
all in favor.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. Next item on the agenda.
This is Forrest for the new agreement.
Oh, Forrest. You're up.
So, I think everybody was at the joint meeting with the school board.
I don't think Jim was there.
yeah,
Oh, okay. So we had a joint meeting with the school board, and the discussion was around their wastewater treatment facility that they have. They have a sand filter, and discussion was, how can we make that existing sand filter treat better? What if we added more sand filters to the south? There's an area that's planned to the south. Or what if we used a different treatment method to the south that could get more loading and flow through it than just a sand filter? So, I don't have the answers to those questions, because ideally, what would happen is that either we get enough capacity, if we did something in the existing sand filters, we did some expansion, there'd be room for not only the school's growth, but there'd be room for the city's potential growth. And this proposal, the mayor asked if I could put a proposal together for the city to review to see what that would look like, so that's what this is. I would think that the city would want to have some participation possibly from the school district in this study. So I'm not quite sure where this goes from here, but.
Well, this would be information that the school's gonna need down the road,
Yeah.
you know, and we're gonna need it. And, also, the reason I asked for us to, take a look at this and come up with a proposal is, I mean, I've asked the question over and over and over, and they have assured me, and, the property owners have assured me that they would, be interested in developing the 400 acres and 170 to 200 homes on that piece of property up there. They own the farm. And, those are the kinds of things that they are, actively into now, in other cities. And they feel like it would be, and you've heard it too, that with the close proximity of the K through 12, I mean, you know, you can look at Elkhart and build and still have your kids that all have to drive here, or Polk City, they'd have to drive here, but if we could get something going here, I think that it would be very advantageous to look at building a house. If I was gonna build a house where my children are gonna go to school, that I think we're in a pretty good position. And so with that, I mean, there's gonna have to be some trust. Trust but verify. But we can't do anything until we know more information. And that's where this proposal comes into. And I sent a copy of this to Mike Klein this afternoon. He's pretty busy with the football game and all that kind of stuff, hasn't gotten back to me. You know, it's gonna be moving. I think in the next 2 months we'll be looking and maybe after the first of the year, be firming up some little harder plans. I think it's a win-win for the city. You know, just looking at the figures down there, $100,000 a year for 7 houses compared to 170 to 200 properties up here. Then you're talking millions of dollars in revenue, which would allow us to grow, to expand our sewage treatment facilities. I think that this one over here someday would be a temporary situation, but you know, it's just gonna be a work of progress all the time.
I think the minimum information we need to even go further is the DNR gonna accept what we wanna do? And at the maximum input to this facility, upgraded to wherever how many homes with the school on it will that take?
So I don't think we're gonna know any of that information until we do this whole study and he does the research and he does.
Well, he's got the.
I don't think he can answer you.
He can with the blueprints that are already there. It'll tell you how much that system will take. And calling the DNR to see if they'll accept a plan to add on to what the facility. We're checking boxes here to make sure. And
I can ask him, I already know the answer, and that's
Yeah.
yes.
yeah, okay, well, there you go.
I work with those Iowa DNR people all the time.
So now we need to know how many homes will this system take with this school at its maximum capacity?
I don't think
That's what this will take. That's
yeah,
what this
but
will
the
take.
existing system as it is, if the school develops the plans that the kids that they want, it'll
Yeah.
exceed what they have out there right now.
But by how many homes? 50
There won't be any room for 0 homes
on this system?
on this system that's there. Cause it'll be all chewed up by the school.
And what are we trying to do?
So this is what.
If we expand it, that's what I don't know, if we add The aeration I talked about, if we add air to their existing system, how many more students, how many more homes does that get us? If we add double the size, we take what's there, we double it to the south, how many homes, how many kids will that handle? If we, to the south, don't do a sand filter, we do something a little more intensive, how many more homes, how many kids will that take? That's what I don't know. I don't know the answers to that.
How many kids are in the school now?
He had the numbers up there.
I don't know how many, I don't remember that number, but I do remember the number he said with all the campuses uptown here, the maximum number of students they can have is 2,700. That's the size of this capacity, people, yes.
Yeah, people,
Well,
not
that's
just kids, it
this
was
capacity that this location was
Campus.
for.
2,700 students and staff.
And I think they're at, what, like 21, I thought he said.
And
21.
homes consume or output more than kids at a,
About 5-to-1 ratio.
That's why we need a study.
I think we need this, I think we need to do it, and I would make the motion to accept this, with also us on the hook for the whole $19,800 and not ask the school to pay for any part of it, simply because it benefits us way more than what it does the school. I think we do this study, and, yeah, I think we do this study.
I put 5 into 3,000, it's 60 homes. But that would carry us for 3 years.
But I don't know what 27 chews up. I don't think the existing system out there can handle 2,700 staff. I think they'll go over that, what they can handle, but I don't know what that number is yet.
They might be able to do that simply by adding those fans.
Maybe, yes.
I think they gotta do the study, might not be able to put houses on it at all.
I second it.
Do the study.
So you want
The
to,
I'll
systems.
second it.
okay, and we're discussing, any other discussion?
Yeah, I'm all for houses being built. So,
This is
Sure
a,
you all heard that I said our costs,
Yes,
not the
Yeah.
schools.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah,
I agree with that.
Have we asked the school if they've done a study, because they keep saying they're close to
They
capacity.
did, yeah. I have.
They were on the end of their seats thinking, oh, we're screwed
Yeah.
here because we can't do nothing.
They did a study, and all the study really, they looked at going to Ankeny, which was millions. And all they really looked at was, yeah, you're reaching your capacity, but they didn't really come up with what do you do about that?
Okay.
And there were some numbers in here that I thought were pretty suspect anyway, it didn't make any sense to me. And then we had the whole air thing. So, yeah, yes, they have a study, but it didn't really, it was just saying, here's a problem, not any solutions.
okay,
Motion,
so
second,
you got a motion, I got a second, do you have something?
further discussion.
I agree with having us pay for that, cause that gives us a little bit of leverage over them in a way. In the
I'm not
future.
doing it for the leverage, just for the record.
It's not for the leverage, no.
Absolutely not.
it's their system, we're wanting to
We're good.
buddy up on it.
Yeah, we're making good neighbors.
It will do.
That's what we're
That's the right thing to do,
Benefit
and
for
I
us.
feel really good that they offered us the opportunity. It's not an opportunity that we would have any other way. But, and then I'd also caution, we're on television, there'd probably be a lot of questions, and so everybody knows we are on podcast, whatever you call it.
YouTube, Bob.
I don't know, YouTube is it, yeah. Anyway, so this is, this is big for Alleman. I mean, even our construction project is huge for Alleman, that we have not done. So, with that,
So we'll have the answers to the ratio deal, how many homes, and all that.
Kids, how many
with the
homes?
survey. Yeah,
what's your time
Yeah.
frame?
Probably sometime in the spring.
Spring? Okay.
That's how it is.
Okay, then we'll count on that in the spring. Okay, all in favor? I'm sorry.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
Thank you very much, council.
Now we are,
Thank you.
thank you, Forrest. Custodial service bid recommendation.
This is Mr. Andreas's project, and we're missing Scott, but
Put it on hold.
we came back with the hourly rate. We could put it on hold, but there is one person who went and purchased insurance. If she's not going to get the bid, then she wants to cancel her insurance because it's coming out of her pocket. So,
Local girl.
yeah.
I'd favor using her.
So what's the outcome? Are we voting on someone? Do we have a recommendation of who it is?
I recommend the bottom line still because it's the local person, which Mr. Andreas was in favor of. And she's right there with a good rate. She understands her own cleaning products.
And she has insurance and
Yes.
all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
Is that the one?
Yes.
You can, wait for Scott, or you can make a motion.
I can make a motion.
For what?
For the motion. That we accept.
Reynolds, main service.
Are we doing like a contract for like 6 months, a year? Have we talked about that or just?
I'll do it for a year.
Sure.
A year trial?
Roundabout, budget and time. Okay,
So it's for Reynolds out of Alleman, Iowa,
Correct.
okay?
do we have a second?
I'll second.
Motion.
Motion, and I'll second it.
I'll second it.
Thank you.
Woo!
Very-
Mary, are you okay?
Very
Okay.
I'm trying to help the guy out.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, that's mine. Carpet for the city hall is up.
Okay, Lauren and I went, Logan and I went
Whoa,
carpet
whoa,
shopping.
shots fired.
This is commercial grade carpet out of the Brothers Flooring and Painting. This is
Way
their
too many papers.
price quote for,
Not in the works.
No.
price quote for, it's removal and install.
And these are, carpet squares.
Yes, they're carpet tiles.
All the buildings put them in anymore.
Yes.
If they go bad, you pull them up
Yes,
and they put them back.
yes.
Get 6 extras, or whatever.
A box.
Yeah, they're everywhere. ISU uses them, the Perry High School was using them.
The bid is, for $3,903. Do I have a motion?
I'm afraid to say anything. I'll make a motion.
Okay, got a motion, do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, and discussion? Hearing no discussion?
Who's picking the color? Who picked the color? Where's it at?
Logan and I picked the color together. It's a blue, gray, black.
It looks good, okay.
It looks good. All right, I'll take your word for that.
He really
So I got another question.
Yeah.
So a lot of places, commercial wise, will put like a walk-off carpet, for the first X number of feet coming in, just to make sure everybody, is that part, is this carpet good enough for that, or will we still have to have rugs and whatever for
I
that?
think
Or
we're just planning on having a rug still.
I'm good. Thank you.
All in favor?
All right,
Opposed? Okay. Next item on the agenda is the, Wayne Waterworks rates. You consider a motion to?
No, stop.
I said that.
I know. If you saw on the news, Des Moines Waterworks is actually lowering the rates for everybody. It is going down $6.14 a gallon for everybody. And that's because Des Moines Waterworks is merging with Central Iowa Water Supply, water. something or another.
Water Association.
So that's what this one is with the Blue Barn, and it's the new rates.
And they are coming up with a
which is on the back. So if you use 0 to 2,000 gallons, it's this rate, but if you use over 2,000 gallons, you're gonna pay $14.60. That's the way water works.
So $9.75 a gallon?
Yes.
That seems, that doesn't seem right. $9, it's gotta be per.
I think it's per
Per
thousand.
thousand.
It says gallons right here.
That's,
It
there's
says
no way,
gallons.
there's no way
Per
water costs
thousand.
more than milk.
Is it government funded? It might.
It says gallons, but okay, I believe you guys. So I asked them about the extra charge that we have on our water bills. It has a light blue bar in the middle.
Well, it is.
2,000 gallons should be about $10.
On the back is that breakdown I was talking about with the new water rates. So I asked them about the water rates that Amanda asked me to look into. If we take off another 5%, that'd be extra $5.83 off per gallon,
Per thousand.
per 1,000 gallons, which would actually.
Right here says
which
per
would-
thousand.
would only be a small loss to the city of $3,300 if we take off another 5%. So I printed up that resolution, similar to the one we used last time we took off 5%. Just in case you guys want to follow through with that. It would like us, if we're gonna change that Alleman water charge to have it done sooner than later, they want to implement it by February. So,
So what's the next step?
we have to have public hearings on changing your water rates.
Whether it's up or down.
Yes.
So we have to, or we can leave it the same and not.
Work session.
Do we have a work session this month, considering we had a work session last week?
There's nothing on the agenda that we need to meet.
Nothing on force.
We can set a public hearing.
Public hearing.
Yeah, I'll motion to
That
set a
doesn't
public
necessarily-
hearing.
Does that mean we don't necessarily have to change or not change
Correct.
anything, right? We just have a public.
Yeah.
I motion to set a public hearing.
The December meeting.
Yep.
Remember, everybody on the December meeting will be, putting together our budget, and those things, and so, love to have your shiny faces here. And, so that we can, put that all to bed.
Do we have a second on Amanda's motion?
Yeah, I need a second on. All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
I'm good.
Okay.
For yes.
Yes.
Trying to read paperwork.
Okay.
We do budget in December?
We can this year because we have the same sitting council. We've done it that way in the past. And then we just have to wait for the county's numbers to come in.
But our fiscal year isn't until.
July.
July.
And, legislature, they do all their, at least we'll be prepared. Okay.
I got one more thing before
Yes,
we
sir.
make the motion. For all of you, yes or no, have been in the military, thank you for your service, appreciate everybody's time. So I just wanna.
Thank everybody who's been in.
Everybody in this room.
I wore my Iowa hat today. Anybody knows what that represents?
Oh, yeah?
USS Iowa.
The first nuclear submarine that accommodates women in submarines. The same company made 5 of them for Australia.
They made 5 of them for Australia?
Yeah.
Okay, do I have a motion to adjourn?
I make the motion to adjourn.
I have a second.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We're wonderful. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.